Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. Today I received some early morning happy mail, and it is the latest offering from artist and creator extraordinaire Jillian C. Wilde. And it is her Familiar's Way self-development set, Tarot, Oracle, and Shadow Worker. Per the description for the set, the Familiar's Way self-development set includes Tarot, Oracle, and Shadow Work, a 3-deck set intended to serve as an entry point to the unexplored parts of ourselves, where we can rely on trusted familiars to assist us in reconnecting with our primal selves and delve into our shadows to attain understanding and welcome more love into our lives. This is not another tarot deck. This is a spiritual and practical self-development set. It is a pathway to more love, connection, compassion, joy, understanding, and purpose. This is a spiritual and transformative blueprint, and more. All decks work together as a supported system, and you can use them separately as well. This Tarot, Oracle, and Shadow Work set creates a beautiful and powerful space for self-discovery and transformation. Each deck offers its own unique gifts and purpose, and when used together, they form a powerful team that guides you through a journey of self-discovery, illumination, and transformation. So here we have all 3 separate deck packaging out in front of us. And I think what we're going to do is go over each deck one by one. So we're going to open the box of one deck. I'm going to do a musical flip through of the cards so you can just see the cards. We're going to look at the book very quickly, and we're going to do this one by one. We're also going to take a look. I'm going to scan that QR code to see what little extras that we got with the Kickstarter, to see what that's like. And we're going to go from there. I'm going to put timestamps as best as I can so you can get in and out and see what you want to see, or if you can't watch the video all in one sitting, because I have a feeling it's going to be long, with the timestamps you can get in and out and pick up where you left off. But before we get started, I just very quickly want to give a thanks to all of you who have taken the time to watch and to comment on my videos, to like my videos. It means the world to me after being away for quite a while and coming back, and the fact that you're letting me know that you're still interested means the world to me. So thank you very much for your kindness. It's very much appreciated. Okay, let's get started. And I think we're going to go in order. So I think we're going to start with the Tarot deck, the Familiar's Way Tarot, a deck of sacred companionship. All right, let's get started.
We're in trances, going off to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed. You like the fast life, you like to drive and get down and dirty, act like the bad guy. You want some love, you like when you feel like calling at midnight. You got the best of me, you got me losing sleep. I've been hopeful, baby, I was hoping maybe that you cross my path. I've been sinking lately, and it's hard to move. promise that's about to let us know how to go. Whoa.
If there is something we need, it's a leap of faith. A step away from the comfort zone and be a little brave. So take a look around you. How far can you see? How far do you think you can run? Standing on your knees. It's a beautiful world out there. Just don't pass on the dare. If you have the will and a moment to spare, it's a beautiful world out there. It's a beautiful world out there. It can be a bit frightening. It's something you don't know. You need a little enlightening. It'll make you grow. It's a beautiful world out there. Just don't pass on the dare. If you have the will and a moment to spare, it's a beautiful world out there. It's a beautiful world out there. Oh, it's a beautiful world out there. And just don't pass on the dare. If you have the will and a moment to spare, it's a beautiful world out there. It's a beautiful world out there. Oh, if you have the will and a moment to spare, it's a beautiful world out there. It's a beautiful world out there.
The sun is coming up, are you ready to go? We can take a ride, we can take it slow. Your will is my law, I'ma let you be the boss, 'cause I'll go where you go. I'll take you to a place we can see it all. Step off the edge, I can break your fall. Your will is my law, I'ma let you be the boss, 'cause I'll go where you go. When you fall down, I'll get you back up again. The things you try are things that you won't regret. We are kings of the world, and tonight is our playground. We are kings of the world, and anywhere it's homebound. We are kings of the world, and tonight is our playground. We are kings of the world, and anywhere it's homebound. We are kings of the world. Follow me away, 'cause we can't stay here. Let yourself go, you got nothing to fear. You'll never be alone, let the highway be your home, 'cause I'll go where you go.
Right. First impressions, just flipping through these cards, just viewing it just like you. All I have to say is wow. The imagery is so stunning. And just to let you know, the cardstock, and I assume with all three decks, the cardstock is going to be the same. It is a matte cardstock, thin, easily shuffleable, sturdy, but easy to work with, especially if you have small, weak hands like moi. Feels good in the hand. The size of the deck is standard tarot size. Okay, the biggest thing is, and I didn't remember this from the Kickstarter because the Kickstarter was way back in the summer. I'm thinking June or July when it finished. So this has been out of my mind. This deck and everything about it has been out of my mind in all these many months. So I don't remember, oops, sorry about that. I don't remember if there was anything about the renaming of the cards for the deck, for the tarot deck. Sometimes you'll have the traditional title in the card and sometimes not. It's a little bit, you have to think about it a little bit. So we have, for the Fool, we have the Fool's bravery. We have the Magician's manifestation. And the other thing I noticed while I was looking through it, while I was flipping through the cards and noticing it on my phone, you notice the titles are very, very delicate. And depending on where it lands, what colors it's against, sometimes they're hard to see. At least they were for me, because there's no bold, banner or anything. And some people like that. Some people, a lot of people like, something a little bit more delicate. The only thing is, because you have the double whammy of the delicate titles and the printing, and that they're all, different names, it could be hard, especially if you're a beginner. If you're a beginner and you don't have the RWS system down, it might be a little bit difficult. It's not undoable, but, just something to think about if you're a beginner. But once you get the cards down and the images, it's no problem. Like this one, when I was flipping through it, I'm going, what's the title? And it's Healer's Intuition, which is, it's supposed to be the High Priestess. And then you notice it does have some of the traditional symbology here. But that's just something to consider. For instance, this is the Empress, but in this deck, it's the Sovereign's Nurture. And then for the Emperor, we have Sovereign's Structure, which fits. This has to be one of my favorite cards, Sage of Support. I love that age is depicted here. It's so much more pleasant than the Hierophant, don't you think? For those of us who, kind of have a little bit of a problem with the Hierophant card, actually, I don't have as much of a problem as I used to. But I would say this is much nicer. And Lover's Alignment. So sometimes you see that the traditional name is in the card. Sometimes it is not. But beautiful, beautiful, beautiful imagery here. Now, as far as the minors, so you notice all the suits have been renamed. We have the Spirit for Wands. We have Feelings for Cups. We have Thoughts for Swords. And we have, and this is the one that throws me a little bit, for the Pentacles, we have Somatics. Now, the reason why it throws me a little bit is because I view the suit of Pentacles as being very stable and not very fast moving, not movement driven as some of the other suits, like Wands, for instance. So Somatics, what I take from what I'm familiar with from some old ancient dance training, it has to do with movement and rather more the internal feelings of the dancer, how they feel internally with certain movements, as opposed to outward techniques in dance. So I'm gonna have to sit with this one a little bit and maybe kind of look up on Wikipedia or my dictionary another meaning for it and the full meaning. So this one, it kind of threw me a little bit. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research for this so I could vibe with that word, at least from my limited understanding. So this one threw me. The rest of them, I think, make sense. Well, especially the feelings and the thoughts, because we know keywords. We know that the Suit of Cups has to do with emotions and feelings, and that the Ace of Swords, or that the Suit of Swords rather, has to do with thoughts. So that makes sense. Spirit, I guess I can take for the Ace of Wands, but this one for the Pentacles is just throwing me a little bit, and I'm just going to have to kind of work with my perceptions and my arsenal of meanings and things for this one. But they're all so beautiful. I love that there's a little bit of age depicted in the Ace of Spirit. But I would say on the whole, my one small little quibble is there's a couple of cards in the deck that depicts some age. But the bulk of it, this is a very young imagery, where I would have liked to see just a little bit more age and maturity depicted would have been in the courts. We have very young, well, pages are okay, but when we're getting into the kings and queens, once in a while, I would like to see a little bit of maturity reflected to kind of separate it from the rest of the journey, you know, the rest of the experience, the life experiences. And this is not to say, well, he's got a little bit of gray going on there, but I'd say he's like in his mid to late 30s. To me, that's a baby. But it's all relative, right? And then again, the king and the queen, which are introspection of thoughts here in the suit of thoughts, and integration of thoughts is the king. He's got his face covered, so you really can't tell how old he is. But, and that's not to say that you can't have the mature, the culmination of qualities of the suit if you're younger. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that once in a while it would help. I think especially if you're a young or new tarot reader, to kind of give it a little bit more depth that separates it from the rest of the journey in the cards. It's just my 2 cents. And just, you know, it's not, obviously it's not just this deck. It's my one quibble with most decks. But there are a couple. I think the 6 of Thoughts still had some, no. There was another nice card with depicting an older lady with her bicycle. Oh yes, the 6 of Feelings. This is kind of a nice one. And also the 3 of Feelings. There's a silver-haired lady here. So there's a tiny bit, but I would have really liked to have seen it in, you know, a couple of the court cards. And that's just a very, very small quibble. And it's my thing. All right, let's take a look at the book. Beautiful imagery in the book. Very, very beautiful. Okay, let's take a look at the book, shall we? And just see how it's set up. Beautiful, beautiful imagery. Beautiful. I know, yes, we have a table of contents with all the usual, you know, getting ready to work with your cards. So if you're a beginner, useful information, cleansing the cards, opening guidance, what to ask, shuffling and cutting. Then we have the about the cards. And then we get down to the nitty-gritty, what makes this deck unique, what are familiars, how familiars support our journey, card descriptions, familiars messages. We've got tarot spreads and journal prompts, shadow work journal prompts, astrology and elements, intention setting, tarot spreads, intuition versus feelings. That would be good. And then it goes in, I guess, into the cards right here. So here, working with familiars, and it's something I don't have a lot of experience with. So this is going to be a very interesting deck for me to work with. Familiars are animal companions that have a deep and long-standing relationship with humans, dating back to ancient times. They are known for their intuitive nature and their ability to provide guidance and support to their human companions. Familiars are often associated with witchcraft, as they have been used in various forms of magical practices for centuries, i.e., a witch's black cat. That would be probably the most, iconic familiar. Even if you're new to all this, you're familiar with that imagery. Familiars can take many forms, including cats, dogs, birds, and even insects. The relationship between a familiar and their human companions is believed to be symbiotic, with the animal providing guidance, protection, and companionship, while the human offers care, attention, and love. And then it goes into the traditions of familiars and how familiars support our journey. So there's a lot of great information in here. So then we go into the major arcana. So this is interesting. So instead of a little thumbnail picture, you've got 2 pages with an expanded, larger picture blown up of the card itself, but it's muted imagery. But this is nice when you have the card and you've got the book to read, so you can bring it in bed. You don't have to bring the cards in bed with you if you like to read at night and you like to go through your tarot books then. So we've got the Familiar's Way message, shadow experience, astrology, and we have, for instance, this is a magician card, magician's manifestation and zebra wisdom, tarot spread or self-reflection. We also have keywords. So for the magician's manifestation, they are intention, conduit, materialization. So yes, lots of great information. Let's see what we get in the minors. So not quite as much, of course, because they're the minors, but we do get keywords. We've got the Familiar's Ways message, shadow experience, and message from frog. Okay, so whatever the familiar is. Okay, so in the Two of Spirit, message from Orca. Beautiful, beautiful book. I'm really interested in going through. I'm probably going to read what is written about somatics here in the suit of what's traditionally the suit of pentacles. Really, really interested about that and how to apply that. And we have message from the artist. So I thought I saw something in the table of contents about tarot spreads, but there isn't. I flipped through and there's no structured tarot spreads. So I found this in the book at the beginning of the book. It says tarot spreads and journal prompts. For each major arcana in the book, you'll find a set of guided questions that can be utilized as tarot spreads or journal prompts to foster self-reflection. In addition to that, for every minor arcana card, you'll discover 3 supplementary questions. These questions can serve as tarot spreads or journal prompts to encourage self-reflection. The choice is yours. Okay, so here is the Wheel of Optimism, or the traditional Wheel of Fortune. So this part, here we go, Wheel of Optimism and Chameleon Wisdom. So you can use this to make a tarot spread, or you can use it as journaling prompts for your journal. Okay, so you can make a structured spread out of this or use it for journaling. Okay, so we're not going to see any like specific spreads for this deck. You can go at it on your own. So that's cool. And you just work with it as feels pertinent to you. Okay, lots of great content in the book. Now, I think one of the freebies that the Kickstarters got, and I think it's what you get with that QR code, is an expanded book. So we'll take a look at that at the end. I'll put a timestamp for that, and we'll check it out. Okay, we've gotten through the first deck, the Familiar's Way Tarot. And I want to know, before we move on to the next deck, what are you thinking? Do you like the imagery? Do you like the setup of the book? Do you think that the renaming of the cards and the suits is going to throw you off? I especially would like to know if you're newer to tarot. I could see it being, maybe if you're brand new to tarot, it's not going to be that difficult. If you haven't had, just the traditional RWS ingrained in you, it might be easier if you don't have a lot of experience with it, because you're learning this and you can get integrated with the book and it may not be a problem. Or it might be. If you're starting to get the RWS system under your belt, I don't know. I could see it going either way. I could see some of them throwing me off. Like I mentioned before, the Suit of Pentacles, somatics, I'm going to have to work with that. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so let's move on to the next deck. And I think let's move on to the Oracle deck, shall we? All right, next we have the Familiar's Way Oracle, Reconnect to the Wild. Now, I have a feeling that this is going to be very reminiscent of Jillian's art with her first deck, the Naked Heart Tarot, and her Antiquities of Magic deck, but I want to be surprised and see how it's different. I think this is going to have a lot more color to it. One thing I want to say is one little thing. I wish there were thumb cutouts on the side of the box, but it's not super, super stiff and not super, super hard to get opened. Or maybe if, the lip was a little bit shorter than the box. But that's, again, is a minor quibble. Okay, we're going to open this beauty up and take a look at the cards and do a musical flip through, and I'll meet you on the other side. enjoyed that musical flip through of the Familiar's Way Oracle deck. There are quite a few cards in here, and I think there should be everybody's favorite animal in this deck. There was one I noticed, one of my favorites that's not in here, and that's the beaver. But I do have my dolphin. I do have my elephant. The artwork, again, with natural depictions, Jillian can't be beat. She really can't. She does a wonderful job of capturing the natural world and making it magical. As you saw in the flip through, that these cards are a little bit shorter and a little bit wider than normal tarot card size, and this is a beautiful, it's the same card stock as the tarot, and it has different edging. Whereas the deck was gold, a shiny gold, this is more of a rose gold, and it is a little bit brighter than is showing up on my phone right here. For her description for this deck, it says, a relational journey awaits. Through the exploration of this deck, woven with purposeful practices, you embark on a journey that strengthens your bonds with animal familiars and fosters a profound sense of trust within yourself. You will uncover tools to cultivate your unique connections, opening a gateway for deep, wild wisdom. This path is one of meaning, relationship, where each interaction strengthens the bond with your familiar's guiding spirits, nurturing a relationship of intimacy and trust. Through this reciprocal exchange, a reawakening of your inner wild nature blossoms. Allow the radiant wisdom of your familiar companions to accompany your feelings, guide your intuition, and support your journey. Reconnect to the wild and awaken the ancient mystical wisdom and tender support familiars hold. I think it's beautiful. So let's take a look at the book really quick. Now let's see if the book differs from the tarot book. We do have a table of contents. It goes into what are familiars, cleansing the cards, how to use these oracle cards, familiars message, keywords, and card titles. And then meditation practice for intuitive guidance, connective breath, connective movement, connective sound, supportive writing, creative connection, strike a pose, practice yoga poses, somatic connection, color visualization, dream work, dressing the part. And then there's a section for honoring your familiars, invitation, honor, and symbolism. See, oh my goodness. Okay, and then it goes into all of the familiars. I want to see. Get back to the table. Again, page 14, how to use the cards, what she says. There's a section, how to use these oracle cards. Familiars have a keen sense and like to be with purpose. They know when they are needed and how they can help. These are various ways to use the cards. Shuffle and randomly pull a card to gain insight from the familiar messages provided. Delve into your inner world and identify an area in your life where guidance is sought. Explore the qualities of various familiars, seeking one that resonates with your situation. Each familiar is listed by its name and how it can assist you. Embrace their message and invite this familiar to accompany you on your journey forward, resolution, and growth. And it goes on to build your unique bonds and connection with the familiars using any practice in the book. The familiars hold power to enrich your readings by interweaving their unique essence with other cards already drawn. use the cards to explore the depths of symbolism. So I scanned over this, but that's an overview on how to use these cards. There's a section for meditation practice for intuitive guidance and connective breath. It looks like there's a lot here. Connective movement, connective sound. For instance, for connective movement, she says, turn on some music you like and start to move with the music. Think about how your familiar moves. Does it flap its wings, crawl along the ground, glide through the water, or move with steady purpose and conviction? For connective sound, it says finding a video or audio recording of the familiars you're wanting to connect with is a great way to establish a deeper relationship with it. Whether it's the hoot of an owl or the howl of wolves, these primal sounds can evoke strong sensations and create a sense of resonance within you. There's lots of great prompts for how to use this deck. I like this section for practice yoga poses. Some of these I am not familiar with, but they will be very fun to explore. There's dream work, color visualization, dressing the part. Dressing the part is a powerful tool to help you tap into the qualities of your familiar and embody them in your everyday life. By choosing clothes and colors that represent your familiar and the qualities you would like to embrace, you can use visual cues to remind yourself of the energy and wisdom you can access within yourself. All right, so once we get into the cards and the familiars, you get a picture, a little insight, and there's no like headers. It's basically just one page on the card. So we go into the bat, for instance. We go into trust in your professional wisdom and allow the transformative power of the bat to guide you on a path of self-discovery. Call on the bat when you need added courage to embrace your fears and let go of what no longer serves you. Letting go requires awareness and allowance of feelings to naturally unfold into accepted surrender. So it goes into how you can use each animal, and it's a little bit different, it looks like, for each animal and the wisdom and the help they can offer you, because they all have different energies, so that makes sense. There is a lot of great information here in this book, and this is going to be so much fun to explore. This deck has some oracle spreads. So as we saw, the tarot deck didn't have, laid out tarot spreads for you to use, but this does. So you have a 1-card pull, what is my familial animal? You have the familiar's path spread with 5 cards. New beginning spread with 4 cards, relationship spread with 4 cards, inner growth spread with 4 cards. And that's it, but that's a great start to help you get started with the deck, and you get a message from the artist. Oh, this is heartbreaking. I'm going to have to read this because there's a section about endangered species. According to the National Geographic, a species is considered endangered when there is 50 to 70% decline in its population over 10 years or 3 generations. Species are threatened by hunters and loss of habitat. It is imperative to do our part to cherish and learn from these animals and work to protect them. And she has them listed. Well, and then she goes on to say, this is not an exhaustive list. While many species are not considered in danger, they are at threat. And then she goes, if you're interested in supporting, she has the World Wildlife Fund website and also Rewild. But for instance, the Sumatran orangutan, the Amur leopard, the black rhinoceros, which we know, the hawksbill sea turtle, the leatherback hawksbill green sea turtle, the Indus river dolphin, the giant panda, the red panda, spider monkey, African penguin. It's, oh gosh, yeah. And this one really, really breaks my heart. The Asian, African bush, and forest, Bornene, and Indian elephant. All elephants basically are endangered. Very sobering. I'm feeling, reading that little passage about the endangered species, I'm feeling very guilty and saddened and wondering what part I'm playing in the decline of, certain animal species. It's sad. It's very sad. Beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous artwork. I will say, what is the name of that deck by Colette Baron Reed? It reminds me of what I wanted that deck to be as far as the imagery, but wasn't. And I had it in my collection. And, the Spirit Animals Oracle? Was that what it was called? Yeah. The cards had the animals decked out in wreaths and kind of funny situations. And even though I found some of the illustrations and the artwork beautiful, I found it kind of a little preposterous and funny, and I couldn't really vibe with it. And that deck has left my collection. This I find far more along my tastes, depicting the beautiful natural world with just a little hint of magic. And it's just beautiful. So hats off to Jillian for creating this beautiful deck. All right, shall we move on to the next deck? hope you enjoyed that musical flip through of the Shadow Worker deck, Embracing the Divine Darkness. Now, in the introduction card that you get with the deck for this deck, Jillian says, I am so proud of you for stepping into this journey. Being present with the shadow is truly for the brave. Congratulations on having a courageous heart and an open mind, for exploring something new and allowing yourself to be known and discovered to whatever degree that may be. These cards are not meant to be pretty. Feelings and behaviors are not always pretty. They are real, raw, and alive with energy. These cards are meant to help you discover the feelings you might overlook and patterns of behavior and feelings you don't realize are present. The shadow. Let the power of shadow work guide you on a journey toward inner wisdom and empowerment. The tarot, a reflective tool for the transformative process, encourages you to embrace your divine darkness and show up more compassionately, consciously within your relationships. I am grateful for your presence here. Your desire for personal growth and your investment in yourself is truly commendable. Jillian. Yeah, these cards are, some of them are very, very hard to see and read. Not pretty, but very, very relevant. The art is relevant to the title, to the caption on the card. And you'll notice, I mean, I can see it fine in person. These may be hard to see on camera. Wherein when I edit this in the musical flip through, I'll probably have to write in some of these. So, because they are, I was looking through my phone and they are hard to see. Like, for instance, this is People Please. And then I expect these blank cards here, they're both the same on each side. They're meant for each individual to make their own cards. They're with their maybe some shadow aspects that aren't represented in the deck, you know, because we're all individual. So these are meant to design cards that have special meaning for you, which I think is a nice touch. And I'm trying to think of what kind of art medium would be maybe good to use on this cardstock. Maybe a Posca paint pen might be a good thing. I have some of those. I have the fat ones. So yeah, I one of these may be taken for practice, or you know what I might do to practice on a medium, I might take this welcome card and practice on the back of it and see what kind of, you know, marker or paint pen would work on this cardstock. So that's an idea to practice maybe on this card and to see, so you don't waste any of these cards that could be useful to you. Now, the book that goes with this deck is a workbook, and it is a chunky monkey workbook. Oh my gosh, there is a lot in here. Even on the front, it says it's an experiential guide to relational wellness by exploring the shadow through the kaleidoscope lens of the tarot. It's a guided workbook. So there is... I don't think there is a table of, oh yes, there is a table of contents. Oh my gosh. This is an academic book, okay? So we open with, what does it mean to do shadow work? A promise to myself. Let's begin. And there's a lot of headings under here, like who is the shadow, working with the inner child and whatnot. There's how to use this book, how this book works, intention setting and calling your guides, the shadow work practices, and then we've got a lot of components to this. Returning to self, tuning in, noticing. the inner critic, unwinding relational tension. And then there's a congratulations, hotlines, messages from the artists. Oh, I'm curious about what hotlines on page 340 she has. Okay, so if you're in real crisis, there are some hotlines in this book. That is very thoughtful, because you don't know, with working with a book like this, what can be trudged up. And there's a famous quote by Carl Jung here at the opening of the book. Unless you learn to face your own shadows, you will continue to see them in others, and the tarot, in parentheses, because the world outside you is only a reflection of the world inside you. So yeah, I think that working with this book is going to be hard, and something I know for myself I would have to be in the proper set of mind. I don't think I would use this workbook and start delving into it when I'm in a vulnerable headspace. I think you have, at least for me, to do this sort of work, I have to be fairly stable. It's not something that I would go to when I'm having a bad day. But let me know if you would approach this differently. So there's a practice 1, returning to self, create space, center, and get clear. And she brings the tarot into this, in this first part. And there's pulling of cards. And she uses this with the suits. And then part 2 is when you get into the nitty-gritty feelings. Days 1 through 10 include steps 1, 2, and 3. You're pulling cards. You're making note of intuitive thoughts, feelings. You have a place to write them down. Oh, wow. There is a lot to this book. There is a lot of self-reflection. This is a commitment. And if one of your goals for 2024 is to do some deep internal work, and I think that's always on the top of my list every year, especially since I've discovered the tarot, but whether or not I've been successful at it, this, I'm not going to lie, is going to require a commitment. It's not going to be easy. I don't think this would be easy for a lot of us. It's going to take a lot of vulnerability, a lot of honesty. And that's the thing. For something like this to work, you have to be 100% vulnerable and honest. And sometimes it's hard to do. And I find that's hard to do even with my daily tarot pulls, because I'm writing down in a journal and my mind goes, if I were to die tomorrow and my husband found my journals, I don't know if he would read them, but would I want him to? I mean, some pages I would want him to, because they mention how much I love and appreciate him. But then when I'm talking about other stuff, the shadow stuff, I don't think I would want him to read. So sometimes I hold back a little bit, and I don't know. I don't know. This is going to be hard. This is going to be hard. And I'd really have to put myself in a place where I'm going to be completely honest. Not going to lie, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to do. But I think I could add this on my to-do list for 2024. And I'm going to discuss in another video, because this one's already getting too long, why I would add that to it. Because I have started a quest of some information that I'd like to find out about myself. And I'll go into that in another video. But I think this would be a very good addition to that. Wow. I am blown away by the thoughtfulness of this stack, and especially this workbook. Now, so one thing, we have this two-sided card, and I see in the book we have in practice 4, the inner critic. I don't see a heading for the inner coach and how to use this card, but it may come up because this is going to be a methodical step-by-step guided workbook. So it's probably in here and I'm just not seeing it. This is very, very, let's see, there's 337 pages of actual, work to do in here, ending with the reflections. So, yeah, I'm sure the inner coach is in here. I guess that's what you'll be, your own inner coach, to work through this system. Yeah, very heady stuff. Very thoughtful, and I'm kind of, I don't want to say, but I'm kind of not looking forward to delving into this. I am and I'm not, excited to find some revelations. I'm not going to lie, this kind of work is not going to excite me. It does and it doesn't, It's kind of a double-edged sword. Finding some new insights is always kind of wonderful, but sometimes it's hard. It can be very hard. So again, hats off to Miss Jillian. A lot of work went into this and you can see it. So I scanned that QR code that came for the Kickstarter backers that's supposed to give us some extras. And I'm going to see what those are. We have the expanded tarot book. Okay, so it says, I don't think it's finished. It says the cards labeled read more have been completed. Check back often for new updates. Okay, so all of these have not been done, but let's see if there's read more. All right, for lovers alignment, I'm gonna grab the guidebook, the paper guidebook here. Okay, so this seems to go more into the symbology of the artwork. Nestled doves faced away from each other. Whereas in the book, it says the dove invites you to embrace the potential of an evolved union. So this goes more into the symbology of the imagery, goes more, I think, into the artwork. And in the book, you get the message, the shadow meaning, and the astrology. And then you get, a potential tarot spread or self-reflection. Okay, so it is a little bit different. You get a little bit more information, a little bit more depth to add to your reading in the guidebook. Let's go back. So it looks like there's more information for the star and the sun, but most of the majors have not been done already. Let's see for the wands. So one wand card has been done. 2 of them have been done. I think she just started to work on this, because the Kickstarter took a little bit more time than anticipated. There was some holdups which has happened before with one of her other decks, the Antiquities of Magic, the Kickstarter version of that. Oh my gosh, I think it took a long time to get it, and I felt so bad for her. She kept, sending us updates and apologizing. Things happen. So there's a couple of cards in the cups that have been done. So she's going to add to it more of her insights, which is really, really good and very, very nice of her to do that. She didn't have to do that just because, there were holdups in the production of the deck. So a couple, let's see, 3 of the swords and the pentacles. A couple of the pentacle cards have been done. So she's going to keep adding to this. All right, so that's the expanded. So if you're a Kickstarter backer, you got this. I don't know if this will be available if you were to order the deck now. I think right here is what you might not get. Kickstarter backers invitation, Zoom links and updates. Oh, here we go. You are invited to a journey beyond the ordinary. Dearest Kickstarter backers, due to the timing of printing your invitations and delayed release of the set, dates and programs have changed in the invitation. So there's a Kickstarter artist meet and greet with Jillian through Zoom on January 27th. 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I'm in Central Time, so that would be 11. Ooh, so that's good for me. That's very good for me. That's a great time for me. Yeah, the date was changed from December 9th to the 27th because we just got the decks. There's a Familiar's Way workshop, which I already signed up to join the wait list. So it's postponed until spring to give you an opportunity to work with the decks first. If you signed up to be notified on the Kickstarter survey, you will receive an email invitation to the paid workshop. Oh, so it's a paid workshop. I think you're going to have to pay extra. If you are still interested and did not leave your email to be contacted, I'm still going to sign up. I'll see how much it is and if it's something, that I can swing. So, included with the purchase, 240 plus expanded shadow experience tarot questions, a compassionate language guide, plus tarot and oracle books. Email me if you don't have the postcard. I can assist you. Okay, I'm in. Welcome to the Familiar's Ways self-development set supporting tools. Below you will find supporting tools that exclusively come with the purchase of your set. Options are available as ebooks for tablets, smartphones, and computer. You will also find PDF printable downloads for select items. These items are for personal use. Sharing these items without permission is strictly prohibited. Okay, so we will get a Familiar's Way extended online guidebook. All right. So we can also book a free 20-minute coaching consultation. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to go and click because, I don't want to get in trouble by Miss Jillian. So, really, really cool. Very cool. Now, I know Jillian just started a podcast. I keep forgetting to click on it. I know that she has started it. So I am due to do some house cleaning on Thursday. I've blocked that time off. So I'm going to definitely check out her podcast. I know that Jillian had some hard times in the past few years, some hard experiences, but it seems like she's in a really great place right now in a creative upswing, and it just shows you how things can turn around. So, you know, I enjoy her tools. I've enjoyed her decks. I think she's a very special lady. So, okay, lots of great stuff. Oh, and it looks like you can go on her website, jilliancwilde.com, and you can get the Familiar Ways development set. It's $185. I don't think I paid anywhere near this because I did get in on an early bird special for this deck, because I knew something like this was going to be way more expensive after the Kickstarter, because you saw what you get. You get 3 full decks, beautiful production quality, expansive books, and now, you know, the Kickstarter people got a few extra tools. It doesn't say if some of those other things, like the expanded workbook, is going to be available. But as you saw with the workbook, with the guidebook that you get for the tarot, it's plenty. It is plenty. And she says here, all decks work together as a supported system, and you can use them separately. You can split them up and use them with other decks in your collection. So you can go to her website and see all the specs, the size of the cards, the type of cardstock, what you get, and it's available now. And right now she has 40% off of all decks, but new releases not included. So let's see what's 40% off. She's got her Naked Heart Tarot at 40% off. Her Divination Cloth, 40% off. The set of the cloth and the tarot deck, 40% off. Her Pixie Pop Tarot and her Antiquities of Magic Oracle Travel Edition. Pretty much everything, all her decks are on sale except for this new set. And while I'm here, and this is already a super long video, let me just show you these items. This was a deck that I said took forever and ever and ever to get to me. The Antiquities of Magic Oracle deck and guidebook was the Kickstarter edition. And oop, there's my little bookmark. Yeah, we got a little bookmark with the book. These were some extra astrology cards that I paid for. They were an extra. But this is the deck. Nice box. They're etched in black. But I love this deck so much. And you can see, yeah, Jillian's beautiful, beautiful artwork. You know, she has a style. And those are the beautiful backs. I love the lacy background. But I love this deck so much that when it came to mass market, I'm going to put this away, I got the little travel-sized Oracle deck as well. And this is the one that she's selling on her website. Not this one. This one's not available anymore. But this one is just a little, you get a nice book. You get a lot of the same information that's in here. It's just, you know, it's tiny. And the cards are the same cardstock and the same production value as the Kickstarter, which is really nice. And the edges are black as the Kickstarter. I don't feel any difference really between the two. And this one is, you know, a good price. So especially right now, if you get it off your site at 40% off. Yeah, it's a great little portable little deck. I love this deck. I use it a lot. These were a Kickstarter that she did as a set last year, her little version of the RWS, and she has the Mystic Woodlands Tarot Infused Charm playing card. So if you like to test your mettle with divining, doing tarot with a set of playing cards, this is a great one. But I love what she did with her version of this RWS deck. Oops. There is an altar card, and it's Pixie. I love that touch. This is kind of along the lines of the low Scarabeo, some of the low Scarabeo decks, but I think a little bit skinnier. If you can see my hand right here. See how skinny that is? It's not super skinny, but I like it for my small hands, and it's edged in black, very simple, very pared down. She made it more vibrant, made it a little bit more diverse, and it's wonderful. You see how vibrant? I hope they're showing as vibrant on my phone as I'm seeing them, but they're just full of life. I love the coloring that she did. She just added her Jillian touches, her little magic touches to this deck. The cardstock is divine. It's really nice and matte. Look at the little sun baby there. So yeah, just vibrant. If you're someone who loves vibrant colors, you know, it's like a dopamine hit. And this makes you excited to work with an RWS deck. I mean, look at the bright blues. Yeah, it's a dopamine hit of color. And it does make me excited to work with an RWS deck. Though my other favorite RWS deck is one that doesn't have a lot of color. So go figure. It depends on what kind of mood you're in. But I will share that deck with you in another video. In fact, I've already filmed that video. It'll be coming sometime in the future. But I love the size of this. The cardstock is really easy to shuffle. It's a great little deck. And it's 40% off on her site. And last but not least, this is the deck that started everything for Miss Jillian, I believe, is the Naked Heart Tarot. Now, this deck was kind of a revelation, and it was a very popular deck when it came out. It was because it was so different. It was a departure. It's a nature deck. Very clean in the background. Not a lot of stuff and fluff. I mean, there's lots of symbology, but as far as background color, no. And while I was just talking about the dopamine hit with the colorful, her colorful take on the RWS, sometimes I do really like pared down decks. It gets rid of the distractions, and sometimes, you know, my brain doesn't want to kind of sift through the weeds. It kind of wants it spelled out for her a little bit. This is great cardstock. I believe this deck you can get off of Amazon. At least that was one time the case. I don't know if that's still the case, but it's also now 40% off her site. So if you are new to tarot, this deck is very well known and loved in the tarot community for good reason. Beautiful, beautiful deck. And for me, it's clear, concise readings, which is what I'm looking for. And it's a deck I reach for when the brain is kind of muddled, kind of foggy, and it's just very clear. Not a lot of stuff and fluff, but just beautiful, concise, succinct. It's a great deck. You know, and it's funny how there's always the new creator, the new it deck to have. But I had some other animal decks in my in my collection, but this one has stayed. This one and one other one has stayed because I just find that I don't vibe with all animal decks, but the way Jillian does them, I do vibe with them. It's a great deck. And that is the Naked Heart Tarot. Before I sign off, I just want to show you the inside, the artwork inside. I'll see if I can get my phone high enough. I don't know if I can, but this is the inside of the sleeve that the deck boxes are contained in. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. It's a beautiful set all the way around. One thing I just found in my box is the Kickstarter did come with kind of a certificate of authenticity. So that's a nice little thing. Don't know if you're going to get that if you order this deck now, but yeah, it's a nice little thing with a message from Jillian. I don't think that this system is something, once you bring it in, it's not something you're going to outgrow. If you get my meaning, I think you can use it as all together, all in one, and then you can break it up and use it with other decks. And you don't have to use all three decks at the same time. Sometimes I think the shadow deck is with this workbook, it's going to be something I'm probably going to use alone with maybe the tarot deck or another tarot deck or one of my more shadowy tarot decks. I can see myself using this together because it worked, you know, the imagery and the colors and everything. But I could easily see matching this and this. And matching this and this together. Kind of the juxtaposition of the white paired down with the colorful would work really well. This is a whole other thing altogether. Yeah, this one is daunting. I'm looking forward to it, and it scares the crap out of me too, which is good. We want to be challenged. We want to be challenged. So I want to hear from all of you. How many of you backed it? Are you thinking of backing it? Did this review, or it's not really a review, it's an unboxing because I haven't worked with it. I literally got it in the mail today. And I know I said I wasn't going to do a lot of unboxings of a lot of decks, but this is one that I did back months and months ago. And I think for posterity, it's just good to have a video out there. I know there's going to be a lot of other people doing unboxings of it. So, but here's mine. Here's my offering. Let me know what your thoughts and feelings are. Which deck is your favorite? Do you have any of other Jillian's offerings, and how have they worked for you? Again, I want to reiterate how happy I am for Jillian's success. Now she is going into consultation and coaching, relationship wellness. She lists herself now as a relationship wellness practitioner, coach, intuitive artist, and I'm so happy for her. She's really hitting her creative stride, and she's put a lot of work, and she enjoys all the success that she can garner from these wonderful, wonderful tools. All the best to her. So there's going to be timestamps. This is a very long video. If you stuck with me thus far, thank you so much. I just thank you. And if you found any benefit, if this was helpful at all, if it moved the needle any way for you, either way, please consider hitting a like, a subscribe, leaving a comment below, all of which helps this very small channel to grow, and also will help push out this video to people who may want to see something like this, looking for information on this set in the future. Okay, so I've taken enough of your time, and with that, I want to leave you to get on with your beautiful day. Bye for now.